And another area that you focus on in assisting fundraising teams is maximizing their mid-level giving. I mean, firstly explain what mid-level giving is and why it's important to be focusing on this.
Well, mid-level giving would be, and it varies from organization to organization. So Harvard mid-level giving might be $1 million start to 25 million. For a local soccer team, maybe it's for a kid's soccer team, it might be $50 to $100. But for the average organization that we work with, and Canada's maybe 50% larger than Australia, so not dissimilar. We have most groups starting at 1,000 to sometimes 25,000. If it's a hospital, maybe they'll start at a larger amount. If it's a university, they'll start maybe $10,000. But whatever it is, if you take 100% of your donors, you've got your top tier who are your major donors. So let's say that's 1%. Then right after that, there's from say 2% to 10%. What level are those people giving at? Might be 5%, but for a lot of groups in Australia, it'd be $1,000 would be considered mid-level, and maybe 500. If you're a really small organization and you have hardly any major donors and not a lot of donors, you might consider 250 as a mid-level group. But the goal is to treat those people especially well because they go on to become your major gift donors. A lot of them are testing you out to see if they really like what you're doing. A lot of them, and I've done that myself, where I'll give modest gifts, and then when I'm treated well and really like what the organization is doing, I will give them more. Um, we have had many donors over the years, clients, do what are essentially test gifts. They'll send $1,000. There's one donor actually at a hospital where he sent $10,000 to the hospital, and their policy was whoever's in the office, the most senior person calls the donor as soon as the check comes in over a certain amount. So everybody was out of the office for some retreat. The only person there was the person who opens the mail and does database entry. But she knew the policy. So nervously, she got on the phone, called the donor to thank him for his $10,000 gift. And he said, I'm glad you called. You're the lucky winner because I made five $10,000 gifts to charities on the same day. And I decided that whoever responded with a thank you first would get $122,000 of stock. And so they got that $122,000 gift just because of good stewardship and response. So slight diversion from what you were talking about, but how you treat these people can turn them into potential major donors. And the Veritas Group in the States did a study that showed when you have a mid-level program and treat them well, you can increase the people who become major donors from about 1% to somewhere around 2 to 5% of your donor base. So it's a really important thing to do. What you do is have more personal communications and think these people are giving us way more than the other people, who also should be well treated. And you do some special things for that. It might mean inviting them to special events even if they can't come. Well, not that anybody's having special events now, but in the past, or it could be a Zoom call or a webinar or a town hall, phone call, whatever it is. But you look at what your organization has capacity for and start treating them better. Could be as simple as a phone call. Guy Stringer, who built Oxfam from a very small organization to the largest charity in England in the 60s and 70s, every day he would write down, this is back when there were no cell phones, he would write down 3 phone numbers of their donors, put them in one pocket, and at the end of the day, he had to move them to his other pocket because he called them to thank them for supporting Oxfam's work overseas. And care like that has great implications and positive feelings among the donors, and they tell their friends, etc. So mid-level donor programs are really important.
Do you see this as a big opportunity missed by many organizations right now by not paying attention to this area of mid-level giving?
Absolutely. And we took a hospital in Canada that was making $383,000 to 2.1 million in their mid-level program in a 2-year period. So that's basically 500% just in 2 years by getting more people in the club and getting more money and raising the average gift significantly. And some of them became significant major donors. Now, that was a combination of mail and personal approaches, but it didn't cost them all that much money to get that extra over $1.5 million. It might have been $100,000. So a 15% return just on that 2 years. But over and above that, once people go up to the next level, if they're $1,000 donor and they go to 5,000, there's a pretty good chance they'll continue at 5,000 long into the future and perhaps increase it even more.